Gotta let it build a little bit, right? And then let it drop. Welcome to another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian T. Licata. We are your boys. I'm Gary G. Garcia, along with my partner and brother, Misinformation, Brian T. Licata. We're doing it again. We just keep going for some reason. We just keep going. Can't keep a good man down.
Well, how about two?
Or us.
I think you're a good man. You're a good man. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Don't get so close to your mic.
Okay, gotcha. I'll put it right there.
Yeah, that sounds much better.
Yeah, cool. Okay,
much better.
Nice.
You sound nice and good, man. How you feeling today, man? Jasmine, what's up? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Give my love to Kyle. Yeah, welcome back, man. So I want to get into how your day was, but I think we should pretty much talk about how was your yesterday.
My yesterday was great. It was the day before that wasn't so awesome. So Tuesday. Well, no, I saw you Monday night, right? I saw you Monday night.
You saw me.
Now
Tuesday. When did you take off? Oh no, Monday night you told me you had taken off. We was with Mark, and Mark was like, "If you had taken off with me, I would have fired you."
Right.
And it was right on you took off your third day on your 90-day.
I think it was the 89th, maybe, or it might have been the 90th. What I should have done was also taken off the Tuesday and let him fire me on Wednesday. So then I would have been into the 91st day, technically, and then maybe I would have had some sort of leverage.
That's what happens, man. You take off too many days. I'll never understand that, man. Young people especially. They get a new job. And then they take days off. And I'm like, I remember when I started working, I didn't get no days the first year, man. Mm-hmm. They didn't give us no days. I think you started getting sick days after you were there a month or maybe 2 months. Then you get one sick day every month or some shit.
I took this. They say it's a non.
Lean back. You're leaning forward into the mic in your pocket.
It's a non-profit, right? So the benefit.
Somebody's making a profit.
Yeah, they're friends. They're friends, not us, not me, not the grunt, right? But probably the contractors that they have and all these. It's New York City, baby. Come on.
Yeah, me and Mark looked up yesterday how many people actually work for the government, how many government jobs there are. And if I'm correct, it was close to 22 million or something like that. 22 something, 22,000, 22 million. I think it was a million. I'm like, what?
All right, let's check.
Your mic just picks up everything, man. I really don't like that mic.
Yeah, I got to watch some more YouTube videos on it now that I have some time.
Now you got some time on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many total government jobs in USA? $23.3 million.
Yeah, I was right. I thought I was wrong when I said the number. It sounded wrong. It sounded wrong.
Do you believe this fact? As of July 2024, the total number of government jobs in the United States is approximately 23.3 million. This figure includes federal, state, and local government positions, specifically about 2.9 million federal jobs, with the rest spread across state, local governments, accounting for around 19.3. How much annual budget is that? Let's see how much money that is per year.
10.5 trillion.
With a T.
With a T. Government pensions are 1.9 trillion. Their pensions.
Government healthcare.
Is there even $1 trillion in whatchamacallit, Social Security?
I think that's what this. I think that's what this is. So the total annual budget for government spending in the U.S., including federal, state, and local governments. I'm guessing that this pension probably includes Social Security, and the healthcare is probably Medicare and Medicaid. Education would be the public education system, defense, government welfare, all other spending.
2.9 trillion on all of the spending. Somewhere I feel like we can cut out, just because of the way they put it, I feel like we can cut out 2.9 trillion. I honestly feel like we can get rid of at least 2.9 trillion.
All right, but hold on a second. Let's do some math. Let's take how many?
What's government welfare? That's the welfare we pay out. We pay 0.6 trillion out.
Yeah. Let's do census of U.S. population and divide census by 2.9 trillion equally.
Trillion?
Yeah, I got the mics in front of my keyboard. Let's see. Wow. We could take 2.9 trillion and we could each get $8,000.
I could use it.
Yeah, I could use it too, bro.
I said we cut those jobs. Got to send your old boss over there. She said, "Oh my God, I thought the thumbnail was a joke." Nah, Brian got fired from the Matrix, and it was good. What's up, baby? Pew pew pew. Welcome to the show.
Giddy up.
Pew, 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 pew.
So how did it go down, Brian? Let's hear how your firing went.
Well, do you want to just read the 90-day review? Because I got the document today.
Oh, let's read your 90-day review. Melissa, what's up? Give my love to my brother. Which I'm sure he's right next to you, probably checking it out too. Or he's probably watching a movie on TV while you're listening. But either way, give my love. You know, it's good to see you, man. I hope everything's good with you guys. And I miss y'all. I want to see y'all soon. I haven't been there in a while. Money's been tight, man. Oh, look at this. Okay. Groundskeeper 2. Why they have to put the Roman numeral 2? I'm just asking. I don't know if it means anything.
That's a good question.
Lean back, man. Your thing pops left and right. Every sound you make, it picks up. What are we looking? All right, I don't see your thing anymore. You put on the. We're looking at 2.9 trillion. You can close that window.
There it goes.
All right, let's see. Conservancy employees are critical to achieve our mission and goal. In order to evaluate an employee's performance, we will first review the completeness of that new employee's onboarding. Please review the following checklist. Before the employee's first day, there was a welcome letter.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's HR, people and culture.
Lean back. You can't be up on that mic. If the employee is park staff or they assigned a locker. Holy shit, dude. Stop moving.
Well, I'm moving it further away from you, bro, so we don't have this problem. There you go. That should fix it.
If you say so. If the employee is a park staff, was the uniform ready on their first day? So you had a uniform and everything. What was your uniform? Shorts?
No, they were pants, dude.
Okay. And what was? Did you have to wear like a yellow?
Yeah, hold on. You want me to go get it? I'll go put it on for the rest of the episode.
They let you keep your outfit.
Well, dude, they fired me. Go fucking suck a dick, dog.
I never understand people who, when they get fired, they keep the clothes. What do you want to? What do you want to keep it for? Are you gonna wear it outside? It's the dumbest shit I ever heard. It's like, here's your clothes too, man. I don't want this fucking thing. Why keep the things around that remind you of the whole job that just let you go? I don't know. My son did the same thing, man. He got fired from Hard Rock and he kept the fucking shirt. Why? What do you need it for? What is this dude doing? He's gonna come back in a G-string and a fucking halter top. That's what he's gonna come back in. Oh, all right. That's a pretty nice shirt. It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, right? And they had long sleeve ones too.
You got the long sleeve too? This motherfucker took their whole wardrobe. Nice shirts. The truth is, he'll probably wear that. You'll probably wear that. You'll probably continue to wear that outfit.
Well, not like out to do stuff, but I mean to do yard work for the next like 20 years. These
you know what's crazy is, since you still got the clothes, can you go over there and still pretend like you're working?
Oh, dude, I could wreak havoc over there, dog.
Just walk on the scene, act like you're working.
Dude, I could I mean, theoretically, if somebody wanted to do some damage, they could say, oh, I don't know, buy a 55-gallon drum of glyphosate, aka Roundup, and it could just accidentally spill
You should take Roundup and put your
I
name
would
in the
never do any.
grass.
I would do. I would never do anything like
You
that,
should just
dude.
say Brian was
No, I would
here.
never. I would never do that, dude.
You should just take and spell out Brian was here in big letters right across the field.
Mm.
You know, all the dead grass will spell out Brian was here. Suck my dick. That would be dope, yo. That would be dope. So let's go back to your review. Let's see how you did. All right. Themor says, Brian, you notice how much you fit in when you're at the Diamond District. Oh, so here's the evaluation. Exceptional, consistently delivers outstanding results and exceeds expectation. Successful, delivers results and meets expectation. Developing sometimes, but not always, delivers results and meets expectations. Not meeting results and expectations fall below what is expected. Let's see how you did. Performance, quality and quantity of work. Deadlines are met. Expends the effort necessary to do the job well in a timely manner with minimum errors. Exceptional. That's very good. So far, so good. All right, then we got interpersonal skills. Demonstrates the ability to get along with coworkers and park patrons. Not meeting. That's as low as you can go. I feel like they wish there was a lower one. That check looks very aggressive. It's over to the right, as if they wish there was another box they could have checked that was lower.
Yes, it is. It's in the. Yeah. Well, actually, we can zoom in on that, dude. We can say, I mean, that's like, look at that. That's almost.
Yeah.
That's.
It wanted to go in another box. It was wishing that you had another box.
Mm-hmm.
So what did he say about that? How come you can't get along with other people?
Oh, so what he said was, you remember the incident when they were trying to make me weed whack this girl's fence line? Did I tell you about this? Okay, so here's the thing. We have fence lines, right? And what you need to do is you need to weed whack the weeds, especially in the summer, because they don't use pesticides, right? There's no herbicides to kill weeds. So the best weed control without doing pesticides is to mow it short, So all the weeds and all the grass are the same height, but if everything's growing in the summer, everything's green, you're watering, and it's sunny, it's going to go nuts. So you have to mow 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
So this fence line just gets taller and taller and taller. And I see it over a series of like 6 weeks, bro. I'm like pretty much from when I started until 6 weeks later, they try to get me to mow it when the guy Mike, who's my boss, is on vacation, right?
Yeah.
So they have a foreman ask me to do it. And I was like, yo, dude, I'm not doing that shit, bro. Like, you guys should have told her to do this, 6 weeks ago. Like, I've cut my fence line 3, almost 4 times since I've been here in 6 weeks without you saying anything. Like, why would you're not doing that?
So you refuse to go the extra mile.
No, hold on. And he said, no, we did tell her. We told her multiple times. She just didn't do it.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, so I'm the sucker then. Then you want me to?
They want you to do it.
My wife was just like, oh my God, you have the shirt on. She just came over from the side. She's like, you got the shirt on. So, are you with me? So like,
Oh no, I'm with you. I wouldn't have did it.
Right? Yeah, I'm not going to do it. And especially, man, my resume. I graduated from Rutgers, which is the most prestigious turf management certificate program in the U.S. It really is.
I went to college for turf management.
It's plant science, bro. But I mean, it's not that hard, dude. You just got to give it food, water, and then medicine if it's sick. It's pretty easy,
Okay.
It's not hard. You just have to work hard and then also work with nature. And
All right. So he didn't like the fact that you said no to that.
And then I told him, he was like, oh, well, and the foreman was like kind of giving me like a little bit of pushback. And I was like, bro, you can tell the boss, I'll tell him, dude. Like, I've been doing landscaping a long time, bro. Actually, a lot longer than you. He was a teacher, public school teacher before this. And he quit and then came back and they gave him the foreman job. Now, one of the assistant managers got in trouble for stealing time in this big time stealing ring at that place several years ago. Where they were like, everyone was punching other people out.
Oh, yeah.
And he did that at a lower level, and now he's an assistant manager.
All right. Well, maybe you should have robbed them. You probably would have moved up in the ladder. It's what he didn't do, Timor. It's what he didn't do. Dude did you a favor, meant for better things. Closer to the mic. No, we don't want him closer. Believe me, he's gonna start popping all over the
Dude,
place.
it's got to be you then, man, because I do other podcasts, the same setup, and nobody says anything. You're
I
the
don't know.
only
I
one.
hear you. I hear you. Nice now.
Timor, what do you say?
Timor thinks you should be closer. I don't know. I feel like when you get closer, you pop. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me.
It could be you.
I don't think so. But y'all don't hear that whenever he moves that mic.
No,
All right, whatever. Maybe it's me. Now I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, I muted
okay.
it while I moved it. That was my
right.
bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sound good right now.
Yeah, I think this is at a good distance.
All right. So basically that's the only time they had that one incident that you didn't help out, and right away they judge you and they say that you can't work with you. You got blackballed. You probably got blackballed, dude.
I did, dude. Yeah, I did. I definitely got blackballed.
You know what I'm saying? You probably can't work in another park in New York anywhere, man.
Well, that's not exactly true because I had a phone interview with Randall's Island today. Shout out Randall's Island.
And that's a nice place.
Well, they have a bunch of migrant camps over there right now.
I bet.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go there and clean up after the migrants, the illegals.
Well, dude, think about how I can just offload labor at a really low cost. It's the perfect setup, dog.
You could probably get them to do the job for you at a quarter of what you get paid. You go there, you pay them half of what you're getting paid, or a quarter of what you're getting paid. Have them do all the work.
That's what I'm saying.
The Cutter Jiv says, sitting on the toilet, realizing that this is why Brian was showing up all these hand signs the other day. He had joined those secret societies for money.
Gay!
You probably are, man. Probably are.
So the next thing, right?
Oh, there was another incident.
No. The next thing was they told us on Monday that Wednesday we're gonna have an all hands on deck at the baseball fields that we have, and there's like 10 of them. Now the weeds that are also the same weeds that are growing on these fence lines are in the baseball fields and they haven't been touched all year.
Okay.
So you could really go out there and cut strips of grass and transplant it out of the stuff that's supposed to be the dirt infield. You know, it's like they were completely screwed, right?
Yeah.
So me and the kid I'm working with finished what we're doing fast because the guys were very friendly with us who worked on the baseball fields. That was their area. So we wanted to get over and help them. So nobody shows up. I call on the radio. No one comes. My boss says, everyone's doing something. Wait till 9. So at 9:05, I called on the radio again. No one showed up. And then I called my boss later. I'm like, bro, I got to talk to you at the end of the day. And I'm like, yo, this is the second time you've done this to me. What the fuck? And had a conversation with him about that. Like, why, you're saying everyone's got to come and do this, yet me and this kid are the only other asshole here. And then the same day that we're doing this project, the 3 managers are in a meeting down at the office on 5th Avenue. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you have a section-wide project on the same day that all the managers are gone, and then you just have 4 people on it when there's like 20 staff in the area?
Okay.
So that was my gripe, and that's what I got fired for that.
Yeah, man, you can't go at the man like that, man. You do what you're told. All right, let's continue the evaluation. So you're pretty impersonal. Communication skills. Communicates in a clear, concise manner. Knows who to keep informed. Listens and understands. And you got what? Scroll down. What is that? Developing.
See, now I would say I'd be exceptional at that. I would say, if anybody's listening, I have a clear, concise, accurate depiction of what happened.
Yeah, it's not that you couldn't communicate. It's that you were communicating all the things they didn't want you to say.
Well, yeah.
They're like, dude, don't complain. You could communicate as long as you're not complaining about something.
So what
That's
should I
what
do?
It sounds like.
Just hide? Just hide in the woods like everyone else?
Me personally, I just wouldn't have said nothing. I spent those days, I wouldn't have did it, but I would have stood there and been like, okay, well, they just made me waste a bunch of time, but that's their fault. And then when they would have been like, how come you didn't do nothing? I'd have been like, I was waiting for everybody to get there. No one ever came. I was the only one there. If anything, get mad at them, not mad at me. I was there. I'm not the boss. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't
fair
know.
enough.
All right, let's
Fair
see.
enough.
Let's continue. So you're learning on that. They said that you're developing.
Developing, which means sometimes but not always delivers results and meets expectations.
All right, not always, but okay. Collaboration creates effective relationships with staff and is a team player. Not meeting. I find that hard to believe, man.
You,
I
you know
find
what
that hard to believe, yo.
Dude, do you know? Yeah, I know, right? You know what I
Yeah.
said to him? You know what I said to him? I said, just ask anybody on the staff. Ask them for one thing I taught them this summer about how to do their job a little bit better, or something a little bit about plant science or something. And I said, not only will somebody say one thing, it'll be multiple, and several
Well,
people.
they were
I was
probably complaining about you. They were probably going to the boss saying, "Yo, this dude thinks he knows everything. He keeps telling us how to do our job."
No, bro. See, I've been doing this a really long time, so I kept my mouth shut unless the people who I worked with asked me, right? The people I didn't keep my mouth shut to was the dudes who were trying to tell me to do some bullshit. You know,
Okay.
I'm not going to give my coworkers a hard time. Like when they, so I also point out when they asked me to weed whack that fence, I did it. And I told the guys, I'm going to do this for you once, but you need to know that this is not like, you're not going to play me like that.
Oh,
you
wait
know?
a minute. You did it? And
Yeah,
they
I did
still
it.
got beef?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you even bring that up when he brought that up? You didn't say, "Wait a minute, dog. I did it."
No, bro, because it was. I mean, like, what am I going to argue for, bro? I got out of there in seconds. I didn't argue anything. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's me. Nobody else is hearing them pop. Maybe it's me. Timor says the classic fire this guy before he takes my job. It was personal, no doubt. Timor says go back to the baseball field on your own time and show those fools up. Yeah, dude, like that dude that does the front lawns on TikTok for no money. He just shows up, starts doing people's front lawns. Integrity. Acts in an ethical, and appropriate manner. Promotes respect, honesty, and fairness to all. And they got you there with what's that? Developing. Wow, you couldn't even be successful in integrity, dog. That's fucked up. They don't think you got integrity, yo.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of shit is that? I would have said to them, yo, explain to me what integrity is. I would have been like, could you please explain how I don't have integrity? Are you fucking nuts? I'm insulted that they said that to you.
Yeah, dude, me too.
I'm insulted. He ain't got no integrity. I don't know anybody who has more. Well, I know a couple people with more integrity than you, but you're up there. You're up there. You know, that one had to hurt a little bit. Go swipe their clients.
No, it's Central Park. There is no client.
They have no clients. Yeah. It's Central Park. Go swipe Central Park, son.
Yeah. Timor, does it sound good now? Does it sound good? Yeah, audio better now. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
right,
cool.
I got it. Yeah, cool.
All right, rocking with. I told you it wasn't me, man.
Yep.
All right, let's go on. We're moving along.
Okay.
You got no integrity. You can't work with others. And you see.
Oh, hold on. Let me speak on integrity for a second. You know, I actually pointed out to how this guy didn't have any integrity, right? So after the baseball field situation went on, he picked me up. We went in his truck and we talked, and he was just acting like we were friends, dude. You know, and he's like saying all this shit, whatever, telling me stuff about him that's like personal, whatever, just completely, just like, you know, just snake in the grass, right? And there's this guy who works there, right, who might belong to a certain demographic that we talk about frequently on here that has to do with letters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
The alphabet crew.
And dude, no problem. There was a large majority of alphabet crew people there. I had to do DEI trainings also there, and I don't have any. I have no issues. Like I have no. The issues I have is my employer trying to tell me how to treat people. Right. Like if I have an altercation with somebody, sure. And to a certain extent, I think it is good to be educated about someone else's culture. But like, I'm doing that myself by working with somebody and saying like, hey man, yo, like, or, you know, to a girl who's gay, like, oh,
I also like just to say something. Who you fuck is not a culture.
That's true.
I don't even need to know. I don't need to know. I don't push on everybody what I fuck, who I fuck, or when I fuck. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I remember I had a band, and when I started Rustin' Blues, my backup singer came out to me, and I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that at all. I think I would have picked up on it when you showed up to some event with a dude under your arm, and I would have been like, hey, how you doing?
These are the employee resource groups they had there: Black, Indigenous, and people of color. BIPOC, for staff that identifies BIPOC and allies to connect with each other.
What's BIPOC?
Black, Indigenous, and people of color. BIPOC.
Oh, BIPOC.
Mm-hmm.
BIPOC.
Then they have LGBTQ plus for staff that identifies and allies of that community. And that's the word they use, community, right? And then there's family/caregivers is another group, which I've never heard before. For staff who want to connect with each other and advocate for workplace programs and services that better support caregivers and families. And then there's wellness. For staff that want to connect with each other and advocate for workplace programs and services to better support health and wellness.
Now I know why now I know why people ain't going back to work. You know, because the minute they would have hand me shit like that, I would just be like, this ain't the place for me.
Well,
they care too much. I don't even get that shit, man. That shit is retarded, yo. I don't even give a fuck. That shit is ridiculous. Gotta go to DEI training, man. Just never mind, man.
So anyway, so there's this person that I'm talking about, right? He preys on new employees there because he has a position where he can organize events with volunteers to help like do stuff in the area. And when my buddy started, he like started doing work in his section and like kept hitting him up, was hitting him up on his personal number, inviting him over to his place to like do stuff. And I said something to the dude
to like do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see it, there's like little cliques of these people. And I said to the manager,
that was like their version of the Diddy parties.
Yes, bro. But it was Magic the Gathering parties.
Magic the Gathering. Holy shit, bro. What's up, bro? 12002. What's going on, baby? What could be worse than that? Is that in a free society, it's mandatory training. I have to do something that my parents taught me when I was a child. And bro also says, as you're looking at the pods, the pictures and the paragraphs, it's insulting. As you're looking at the pods, the pictures and the paragraphs, it's insulting. Not sure. Little lost. But
all right, let's get back.
Yeah, let's get back to your review, which isn't doing so well, dog. Going by this review, I mean, you got no integrity, you can't collaborate. Initiative and problem solving, acts promptly, makes practical routine decisions. You got what is that? That's like the successful. Okay, all right, cool. You're safe, observes rules and regulations, and uses equipment properly. That's nice to know.
Which I would actually.
That's nice to know you weren't sticking your dick in the hoses.
No, and I would actually argue on integrity, initiative. Well, let's start with integrity, right? You don't have a little integrity. You either have integrity or you don't. Integrity. You know, it's like grace.
Yeah, that's right up there with just because you are a character doesn't mean you have character.
Right, and it's like grace. You know, you don't have a little grace.
No, you either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Fucking dick. Well, basically, they said you don't. Michelle, what's up? Is this thing on? We have been saying hi, and it seems you're not getting it on your end.
No, there's just so many comments. I'm just trying
Michelle
to get the story.
Says, hi, guys. Jelani and Tiffany say hi too. Hey, tell them what's up. And big up to Tiffany and Jelani. He's finally home from the hospital. Am I saying his name right? I hope I am.
Jelani.
Yeah, he's back from the hospital, doing good, and we are very happy. Can't wait to meet the little guy, the little king. Yeah, man, congratulations! Glad he's finally home.
So, with integrity, have you ever known? Would you say, like integrity? What would you say integrity with me?
I would say you're a man of integrity. That's what I would say.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
But that's coming from a man with none.
No. Dude, you're like honestly, I feel like like really everyone in my family, right? And especially the men in my dad's side of the family, and you have the most integrity of any people I've ever met. You know, there doesn't need to be BS.
Integrity to me is having honor and principles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what they say. Yeah. The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change. No one doubted that the president was a man of highest integrity. Someone do doubt that. Integrity proven. So the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles actually that's why you got fired.
Right.
For having integrity.
Right.
For being honest and not changing your fucking moral principles despite the fact that they could fire you. Wow, man. Wow. Bro said, I thought we were talking about DEI training. Well, yeah, he was showing us he had to take that for this job that just fired him.
Well, so they didn't actually fire me. They
didn't hire you.
They did it the woke way, bro. They woke fired me.
They're they just didn't hire you.
We're not gonna renew.
We're not gonna go forward with this.
Yeah. And that's how he said it. I'm like, bro, you can't even say it like a fucking man.
Moore says, Brian giving the guy a huge compliment, maybe the biggest ever. And G be like, I got a text. You got the response. No, I didn't get a text. I was looking up integrity. I was looking up the word integrity real quick. And I would say that you definitely have integrity.
Oh, yeah. I was saying it to you too, though. That's what he's saying.
I heard you saying it. I just kind of, what do you want me to say? I don't do well with getting compliments.
Yeah, I also knew that you heard it.
Yeah, I heard.
I heard. So,
but yeah, judging by integrity, that I would have to disagree with, man. Job knowledge and comprehension.
Hold on, safety. So let's go to initiative. So let's go to initiative.
But you passed well on initiative. You did well on that.
I know. Where it should have been exceptional is I came with all my own tools prepared.
You came and you bought a towel.
No, I had my bucket of tools, right? I had 14.1 acres, and I guess maybe about 5 to 7 were grass that needed to get watered. I had 2 or 3 hoses that worked and 2 or 3 sprinkler heads that worked. At the end of the season, I had 18. And I could water all 14 acres and get coverage on every single piece I needed to in a whole day. I could get almost about an hour of water on every zone, which is nuts, right? And this is the old school way. So initiative and problem solving. And I also found all the hoses, right? They didn't buy any for me. At the beginning of the season, I said, I need hoses, I need sprinklers, and I need an edger to edge all these things. He got me none of that.
He said, go look for it in the park. I'm sure there's some laying around.
He didn't say anything. He said, give me a list. And I gave him a list, and he didn't get shit.
Okay. Did you bring that up?
No.
Well, I mean, you got the exceptional on job knowledge and comprehension. We already did safety. You observed the rules. You probably used the equipment. You wasn't sticking your dick in any hoses. Didn't put the weed whacker up the crack of your ass.
And I had one unexcused absence.
Attendance in the past 3 months. Number of excused absences.
Unexcused.
One. And what was that?
That was the one Monday.
Oh, Monday.
Yeah, the other ones were excused.
Oh. But you did good on that too. So check the one category that best. This is the one we want to see. The best describes the employee's overall performance and select one recommended action. Performance is below acceptable level and needs improvement. But see, why don't they just say below acceptable level? Because once you hit that, you already know recommended action. And not for nothing, it says right there, termination of employee.
If you choose this option, do not administer the performance review discussed with people and culture. They administer the performance review.
Interesting. I wonder, can you sue?
You know what else is interesting?
You didn't sign it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. It says the employee's signature does not indicate agreement with all aspects of this appraisal, but confirms that the contents have been discussed with the employee. I don't think so, dude. I don't think that's how that works. Yeah. I don't think you can just write a piece of paper and say the employee's signature does not necessarily indicate agreement with all aspects of this appraisal, but confirms that the contents of it have been discussed. No, it doesn't, dude. I don't think
No,
that's
how
gonna.
does that confirm it? How does that
Yeah, how does
confirm
that
it?
confirm it? No, that means you guys just wrote this up. Yeah,
But what it was discussed with you though.
allegedly.
That is a bad review. Well, I mean, not really.
But
It
now
says
hold
you
on.
did, it says honestly, if you look at that review, what I would see there is a person who does a really good job,
Mhm.
but just doesn't get along with his employees.
No, it doesn't get along with his boss.
Well, I know, but they didn't say boss there. Everything was employees. Everything was your coworkers.
Right. Well, coworkers are also your boss, bro.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
consider the boss a coworker.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's
you
the
work with them,
boss.
right?
Yeah, but he's the boss. He's not a coworker. He's the fucking boss. A coworker, you're on the same level to some extent.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's the definition. That's the literal definition of it.
What is?
What you just said.
Yeah, coworkers, the people that are, pretty much on the same level, pretty much.
Yeah. A person whom one works, typically someone in a similar role or at a similar level within an organization.
And look at that. No one even had to teach me that. I just used my common sense to figure out the word. Well, it says coworker.
He didn't go into detail, but he said you talk disparagingly about your coworkers. And those coworkers I talked disparagingly were about the guy who's an assistant manager who stole time. I talked about how one of my coworkers told me that he asked how he can get better at weed whacking. And the guy was just like, yeah, just keep doing it. You'll figure it out. That was the training.
It'll come to you.
Right. And then I also talked about how it's disgusting and embarrassing that all the managers, right, have this dude who preys on new employees, and you just turn a blind eye to it, And I might have said if this was 1935 Germany, I'm glad I'm not Jewish. I didn't say. I mean, maybe I said that.
Yo, man.
Right?
Listen, I would have been like, you could terminate me if you want, but we're gonna go over this shit. We're going over this shit. There's no way I'm walking out this door with you with these things. You changed these.
I got him with this. They asked me for the cell phone, so I
would have made them change all those fucking check marks, and then I would have said, now on the bottom you could say that you don't want to go on with me. Because I would have broke down each one of those shits, man. All right, let's stay on this for a second. How can you say that I need, what are you, crazy? Integrity. I told you exactly what I was feeling, dog. Like I'm telling you how I'm feeling right now. You could fire my ass, but you ain't gonna make up reasons to fire my ass. All right? Because I'm starting to think that the reason you're firing me is because I didn't go to this dude's barbecue and blow him. I think you're firing me because I'm a straight white male. And I wanna know what your fucking lawyers are gonna think when my lawyer brings it up to him.
I want to do a little math. So there's we could rate 1 through 4 because there's 4 categories. I want to see what my average is. There's 4 categories, right?
Yeah.
And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be 9 metrics. And then 4 ratings. So 1 through 4, 4 is the highest. Let's see, like 4 and 4. I'll just do this real quick. Sorry. 2, 3.
Yeah, I would have been like, listen, you could fire me, but you're not firing me with this paper. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have people thinking that I'm a hard dude to work with, dude. I'm not hard to work with. I did everything you asked. I even did when you asked me to do the next man's job. I did it. I just let you know, because I have integrity, that this isn't going to keep going on and that I'm doing you the favor. This isn't what you paid. You paid me to do my job, not somebody else's job.
And the bullshit is that's like a 50% rating, even with these 2 exceptionals, by these other ones, like throw the rating off so much,
Dude, I see that. And I don't even think I could get a regular job nowadays. Yeah, take that shirt off. Word up, man. Take that shit off. Spit on it. 2. Yeah. You should use it to wipe your ass. You should wipe your ass with that shirt and then send it back. Say here's your shirt with big shit stains on it. Themo says, G got game. I would do the same. Get up in there and tell those tools what the truth. To be honest, Joe, Themo, you know what I'm thinking? Because I was always like this where I worked. I was always like that, like what you said. But I'm telling you, I would not have left that fucking office with that review being the way it was. I'd have been like, nah, dog, who's reviewing me? You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, are you reviewing me? Because if you're reviewing me, let's sit down and talk. You're changing those fucking answers. I'm sorry. And then at the end, you could say you're going to terminate me. But you're going to terminate me because for the right fucking reasons. I honestly don't know how I had a job for 20 years, dude. Well, this was my attitude all the time with these dudes. All the time. And yet they kept me. That's crazy. I remember because I used to work salary, right? When I first started working there, I started in the mail room and I cleaned the offices, right? Before I became a designer there. And I remember while I was still, low level, I'm cleaning the offices. They said, we're going to switch you over from salary to hourly, right? And I said, and they go, your paycheck's going to stay the same. And I go, that's fine. But when I was doing salary, when you add up my hours, I was doing 45 hours a week because I was doing salary. I had to get in there early before anyone got in there. And then I had to stay all the way to the end to empty garbages and all that. So I was doing
like 10, 12-hour shifts.
Yeah. So I said, I work 45 hours a week. And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, then that means 5 hours. I said, so then if it's 5 hours, 45 hours, I said, after 40 hours, I get overtime. He goes, yeah. And I go, so I'm working 5 hours. I want the overtime for that. If you're moving me to
hourly.
I said, I want the 5 hours overtime because I'm going overtime every week. So I should get that. And he goes, well, the way we worked it out. And I said, listen, stop right there. I know that the way you worked it out works in your favor. That's fine. I'm telling you that I'm not going to work 5 hours overtime and not get paid for it. So the choices are, you're either going to pay me for the overtime or you're going to give me less hours. You're going to give me 40 hours. Right. Okay. Something's going to change. Everything ain't going to just stay the same. And it's going, now I get charged if I don't fucking show up for an hour, you could dock me an hour. Something's going to get changed. And he goes, well, like I said, the way we worked it, I said, listen, dog. He was the new manager there too. He's probably there for like a week. I said, listen, dog. And I said just like that, listen, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how I worked there so long. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I got to start doing the trash. So I'm going to start on this end. And by the time I get to the other end at Richard's office, because Richard was the owner, I said, I'm going to go talk to Richard. And I'm going to let him know this shit you're trying to pull on me. Right. And he goes, well, let me talk to him first. I said, well, you got till I get to the other side. Right. So I start to do the garbage, doing the garbage. I pass his office and he calls me in. I said, what's up? He goes, oh, I spoke to Richard. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to lower your days, lower your hours to 42 and a half. So you're no longer working 45 hours. So they took 2.5 hours off of what I was working. Right. And he goes, and we're going to give you the 2.5 hours overtime. And I said, fine. Right. They lowered, they gave me less time that I had to be there. And I still 2.5 hours over. I'd be working 42 and a half hours, but the 2.5 hours would be overtime. I said,
you're getting the same hourly rate as you would if the salary broke down to 40 hours.
Well, because that's what I told him. I said, listen, just so you know, when you break down, I'm working salary, right? So when you break down how much I get paid an hour, you don't break that down 45 hours. You break that down 40 hours. Everything else you were getting extra because I was on salary. So when you break down my salary, it should be in 40 hours. That's what I get paid. You know, I told him that. I said, listen, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I know how this works, right?
Yeah, 2,080 hours a year.
You know,
that's what it is. 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year.
Either way, when you break that down, you're breaking it by 40 hours, not by how many hours I was working over that, because I was working salary. Okay. So he tells me 42 and a half. And I go, okay, cool. And I go to walk out. And he says, wait, what did he say to me, man? He says, yeah, I looked out for you. And I was just about to walk out the door, dude. And I stopped, took one step back, closed the door. And then I turned around and I said, I'm sorry, what? And he goes, I looked out for you. And I go, no, you didn't. I said, You didn't look out for me. You're giving me what I deserve. That's what you're doing. And he goes, well, yeah. And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah. And I go, okay. So I want to hear you say it. He's like, what? And dude, I walk up to the desk and I said, I want to hear you say, I don't owe you nothing.
Wish I would have done that, dog.
Because you saying you looked out for me implies I owe you something. I owe you one. I said, I want to hear you say it. And he goes, nah, you don't owe me nothing, G. I said, exactly. And then I walked out. Have a good day. What are you, fucking crazy?
You're Batman.
And dude, they didn't fire me.
How long after that was it you got fired?
I became head designer. I only worked there for 5 years in that section. The rest of my 20 years, I was designing. When I fired me, I was head designer. And even that day, I went out like a trooper, son. You're going to fire me. You're going to fire me for the right fucking reasons. And I knew they were going to let me go, right? Because a week before that, they hired a new chick in my section that was running shit for the designers. And she's calling everybody in and she's bringing in her own people, right? She calls me and she goes, hey, Gary, how you doing? And I say, hey, what's up? Cliffy, what's going on, baby? I said, everything's good. What's going on? And she goes, well, listen, I just wanted you to take some time out. And could you do me a favor? Could you break down everything you do during the day? Thinking G should be the lawyer on this one. Timur, I think I would have been a good lawyer, man. Timur, go to this guy's boss and drop that paperwork, lawsuit, get Brian that manager job. Exactly, man. Brian taking notes. We get that confidence up. Righteous. Nah, I'm just telling you, dude. I went in there, right? And she calls me and she goes, I want you to break down Church Street, Tap and Deli. What's up, baby? Remember how you got your bank account closed on you? Gary King Handle says Gary's range got towed. He double parked by a hydrant. Listen.
He thinks you got a dog. I mean,
nah, man, that's a big fucking. I hate big trucks, man. I love my Civic. It's perfect size for me. Check it out.
Yeah, you don't need a stepladder to get in it.
Nah. So she says to me, I want you to write down everything you do for your job. I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, I want you to write down all the positions that you do for your job and what you do daily. And I said, you gave me the job. Y'all should know what I do. And she goes, no, I know, but I want you to write it out. Could you please just write out everything you do from when you get here till you leave? And I said, no. And she was like, excuse me? And I said, no, I'm not going to waste my time doing that. You guys know what I do. I've been doing it for the last 18 years. So you know what I do. You know what I'm saying? You gave me the position I got. So what are we talking about here? It's that simple. You gave me the position. I'm not going to write that out. And I walked out the office because I knew right there what that was. You know, they were trying to get rid. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. So
I knew after I got out of the truck with the guy that day, like 2 weeks ago, that it was done. It was just a matter of time. That's why I called out on that Monday because I didn't give a fuck. I kept calling out for a couple of days and then made sure it was well after 90 days.
I knew it was coming that day too, because that day I got into a beef with my manager in my section because it was like each section had a manager, then it was the top bitch. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. So she came at me with some dumb shit and I put her in check. And me and her were going back and forth. And I said, listen, I know that you're my boss, but being my boss doesn't allow you to talk to me any way you think you want to talk to me. So I suggest to you, you go to relax and then come back and talk to me when you're ready to be respectful and you'll get the same thing in return. Right. And then I left. I walked out and I went into HR before she did because I knew she was going to go into HR. And I said, yo, when you get a chance,
I should have reported it to HR.
And yo, dude, want to hear something funny? This is another reason I knew it was going to happen. When I walked into HR, yo, she went, Gary, right? And I didn't pick up on it at first, like why she looked surprised. Because I said, yo, we need to talk after you get off the phone. And she was like, and she thought they already fired me. That's what that look was. Because I went, yeah, I had a little something with this chick, my manager, you know, the one from my section, and we need to discuss it. And she goes, oh, okay. Okay. And then afterwards, I was like, what's that look? But then I noticed my manager walked out, right, and went into HR and never came back. Because I saw her go from HR into the head manager's office, right? And I went, never came back. Then another person got called in there. And I already know the routine because I already survived 2 Black Fridays. I survived 56 people getting fired and another 30-something getting fired the second time because they were cutting everything down. I already survived both of those. Everyone was like, gee, they're going to build a statue for you. You keep fucking surviving, right? So I said, oh, they're calling people. They're doing it again, and they're doing it in design, right? So I said, okay, they're going to get rid of me today. I was just waiting to get called in. And then sure enough, they call me in. I sit down. It's the HR who I can't fucking stand. She's sitting there with this big, huge, overgrown herpes on her lip. And I got to fucking look at you and act like I don't see it. Act like your face is normal right now, right? And then this new chick, right? Mind you, one more fucking week and I make 20 years. One more week, make 20 years, right? So I'm like, I sit
Just
down.
like me, dude. I was a day away, shy of 90 days.
I sit down. They start talking some gibberish bullshit about how, you know, they're cutting sections. How the hell do you remember numbers, days, and statistics with all the weed you smoke? I don't remember numbers, days, and statistics. I remember conversations.
Yeah, he makes it up though. Anything that sounds like a real fact is made up.
Yeah, but the thing is, I remember conversations. Gary, when was this when you worked at Chippendales? No, this is before that. Bro said you're a walking medical miracle. That's what my doctor thinks, you know. But regardless, they started talking all this shit, and I heard them mention how they're gonna downsize the departments in whatchamacallit, and that my department was no longer gonna be needed. And I said, what do you mean my department's not gonna be needed? I said, I design uniforms, which was the number one thing they sold. So I knew they weren't getting rid of uniforms. They might be getting rid of some of the sports gears that we did, because we used to also do, you know,
was it new ownership or something like that at the time?
No. It was a new head of design. The new head of design was bringing in her old workers from her old job, you know. So she was trying to replace people with people that were loyal to her. You understand what I'm saying? And she was testing my loyalty to her. When the truth is, I'm not loyal to you because your name ain't on my motherfucking check. You know what I'm saying? Your name ain't the one that signs my check, and you're not the one who fucking hired me. So I'm not loyal to you. I'm loyal to and let me tell you something. They were waiting because the two owners, the original owners, Alfred and Sonny, loved me. They were old school. They were old, right? Sonny passed away, and all that was left was Alfred. And Alfred loved me. He used to come into work and stare at the ceiling. That's how old he was. Like he was going. There were a couple of times he got lost in the office. I had to bring him back to his office, but he always remembered who the fuck I was. So it was like Fredo. It was like Fredo, dog. They turned me into Fredo. They were like, yo, nobody touches Gary till Alfred dies. You know what I'm saying? As long as Alfred was alive, no one could touch me. But then he died. And no lie, dog, the next week is when they came for me, yo. The next week they came for me. And I went in there and I said, wait a minute, I said, you're definitely not getting into that. So what are you telling me? And she said, well, we're going to offer you. I said, wait a minute, you're letting me go? And she goes, yeah. And I said, okay. Right. And then they go, yeah, we're going to give you a severance pay. And the severance pay is going to be, you ready for this? The severance pay is going to be a paycheck for one paycheck for each week for each year you were here. Right. And they said, so we're going to give you 19 paychecks extra. I said, 19. And they said, yeah. I said, I've been here for 19 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks. That seems closer to 20. And she was like, well, yeah, well, we worked it out for, each year. So it's 19. And then the HR lady says to me, we're going to need you to sign this paper. And she slid it over saying that I agreed to that and that I spoke to them and I agree. And I slid that back. I said, yeah, listen, I won't be signing anything till my attorney reads it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't sign anything either.
And she goes, oh, well, no, we want you to look over it. No, we want you to look over it, but we just need you to sign this other paper saying we spoke to you. I said, what don't you understand? Because I already lost the job now. So now all bets are off. I looked at her, I said, what don't you understand? I said, I'm not signing anything until I let a lawyer see it, right? And they look at each other and I go, y'all can look at each other all day. What I'm saying is not going to change. I'm not signing anything. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my cubicle, pack my shit, and I'll be out of your hair, right? This bitch says, oh, no. We're going to ask you just to not even go back to your cubicle. We're going to ask you just to just go outside and we'll bring you your jacket. And I said, what? And she goes, yeah, that's the way, that's the what do they call that when it's the method?
Procedure.
That's the procedure. I said, let me tell you something, okay? You just got here, so let me tell you something. I've been working with people here for the last fucking 20 years of my life. If you think you're going to send me out that door and I'm not going to pack my stuff and say goodbye to the people that I've known for the last 20 years, I said, you're bugging. Yeah, she goes, well, no, we're going to have Pete pack your stuff. I said, Pete ain't going into my drawers. I've been here for 20 years. This is what I said to you. Ready for this? I said, I've been here for 20 years. You don't know what's in my drawers. I could have dildos in my drawers. You think I want Pete going in there and finding my dildos? And that's the look she had in her face. And I said, exactly. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Are we done here? And they're looking at each other. I said, are we done here? Because I'm about to go see Richard. And I'm going to take care of this. Right? Because like I said, at that point, Richard was the owner because Alfred died. He became the owner, right? And she goes, we're done here. I go, good. I get up. I go knock on Richard's thing. He opens the door. He's got a client in there. I said, yo, dude, when you're done with your client, I need to talk to you. He said, give me 5 minutes, G. Right? I go inside to talk to him. I said to this motherfucker, yo, dude, word is born. That's how you're going to do me? I said, I built your office. Because when I worked in the mailroom, I also helped the dude who built shit too. So I would clean the offices. And then during the day, I built his fucking office. I said, I put the walls up in your office, dog. And that's how you're going to do me? And he goes, yeah, dude, I ain't going to lie. I meant to take you out. I wanted to do it. I said, he goes, I wanted to do it. I wanted to let you go. I know I owed you that. My plan was to take you out. But then a whole bunch of things. He started giving me all. I said, listen, dude, check this out.
No excuses.
I said, you didn't do it yourself. You're right. You should have did it yourself. You should have called me right into your office and you should have did it yourself. I said, instead, you let the chick who I can't stand, that bitch because me and you spoke about her. I was loyal to you. You just got rid of the last dude in there that was loyal to you because now everybody in there is her crew. So they're loyal to her, okay? I was loyal to you. You should have fired me. I said, and you didn't. You let that ratchet bitch who I can't stand and that other bitch with her whole head growing out of her fucking lip that I got to look at this herpes-infested bitch in her face like I don't see it. And you're going to tell me that I can't go back to my fucking desk and clean out my own shit? And I'm talking just like this. This is exactly how I'm talking to him. And he goes,
you spit on me, bro. You fucking spit on me. Jeez,
he goes, Gary, calm
right on me.
He says, Gary, calm down. Who told you can't go back to your desk? I said, the herpy bitch. And he goes, hold on 1 second. Just relax, Gary. Picks up the phone, calls her up. He says, listen, I think her name was Margaret. He says, listen, Gary's going to go and clean his desk. He's going to take his time. Whatever time he gets out of here, and then he's going to say bye to everybody he wants to say bye to. Okay? Just leave him alone. Hangs up the phone. Anything else I could do for you? I said, yeah, there is something else you could do for me. Glad you asked, because I was going to tell you anyway. But now I'm a little more relaxed. I said, what the hell is up with this thing? This Severance, what's up with this thing? I said, you rounded down
11 months and 3 weeks.
You rounded down? You didn't round it up?
What day of the week was it?
He said, what do you mean? It was a Friday, right? He said, oh, no, excuse me, Monday. It was a Monday.
It was a Monday.
Yeah.
Starting your 4th week, probably, right?
Yeah, it was a Monday. Yeah. At the end of the week, I would have hit 20 years and got a watch, right? I said, you rounded down? I said, yo, dog, I got to be honest. I would have respected you more if you gave me nothing. I said, if you gave me nothing, I would have respected you more. You know what I'm saying? And then I slid that shit to him and said, I don't want it. He said, well, what do you want, man? Look, if you want me to write a thing, I said, nah, dude, I don't want it. He said, well, Gary, I'll tell you what. He slides it back to me. He says, take a couple of days. Come see me Thursday. Think about it. Tell me what you want. That would make this right. Okay, because I feel totally bad about this. Meanwhile, I just got my new apartment too. That the rent was crazy up on that, right? And he knew about that too. So he knew my situation. So I said, and he knew I just finished getting divorced. He knew my situation. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker was hard times, paying child support and everything, right? So I said to him, you know what? All right, I'll hold on to it, but I don't think my attitude is gonna change, right? And he goes, well, go see your lawyer with the things and whatever. So I go to see my lawyer, who was the lawyer who worked for them and wrote up. He's the one who created the draft for the whatchamacallit, for the severance agreement. For the severance, yeah.
Right, okay.
Like he's the one who wrote that whole shit up, right? So I go to see him and I give him the thing, and he's like, yeah, Gary, I heard about it, man. It's like everyone was bugging on this. I mean, I had people calling from overseas and all that shit because I did 20 years. Everyone loved me, right? So I said, yeah, dude, I think this shit is bullshit, man. 19 weeks, man. He goes, yeah, I know, but technically that's the way it goes on this thing. He goes, listen, I wrote this up and it's fair. You know me, dude. It's a fair thing. He goes, but he goes, and you do understand they don't have to give you anything. He says, a severance is something that the job is saying they recognize that you've been there for a while and they want to kind of keep you going a little bit while you transition.
Right.
So right. He said they really don't.
It's an apology.
Yeah, he said they really don't have to give you nothing, G. And I said, no, I get that. He goes, but you know what, dude? You were the man there, dog. And if you want to ask for more, you can ask for more. That's on you. You cannot sign it. If you sign it, it's fair, and you could ask for more. I said, okay. So I went back to this dude, yo. I go there. Oh my God, it was so gangster. He sit down at the desk. I had the manila envelope in front of my face. He goes, so did you decide what you want to do? I said, yeah, I decided what I want to do. He goes, so what's up? And I went, shh, and I slid it to him. And I said, I don't want it. Like I told you before, I would respect you more if you gave me nothing. So I'll take nothing. And he goes, well, then what do you want? I said, you want this to end in a way that if anybody ever asks me about this company, I'll tell them they did right by me. Then this is what I want. I said, I want to start doing comedy because he was trying to get me to do to go into like one of his friends' designing spots, to design for another company. And he's like, he'll write me something, I said, I want to do this. I said, I want to do comedy. So what I want from you is I want 6 months severance pay. And I'll tell you why. I said, because after the 6 months of the severance ends, then I go on unemployment and they'll give me 6 months of unemployment, which will give me 1 full year to try this comedy thing, to go full blown into it. That's what I want to do. And I want a version of Photoshop and Illustrator. Right. Okay. So he goes, wow, 6 months, G, I don't know, man. I can't just make that decision alone. I'm gonna have to talk to, the other Suttons and there were no Guindies there no more, just the other Suttons.
The money people.
Yeah.
Money
and
people.
I said, look, you go talk to whoever you gotta talk to. But if you want me to be like, we're cool, this is what's gonna make us cool. And he goes, Gary, I like you. I like your drive. But you know what, man? How about I help you to get into another company? This way you got steady money coming in. Because then this motherfucker says to me, you ready for this? This is exactly what he says to me, dog. He goes, you know, this way you got that money coming in, and you know, because if I feed you for a day, then you eat for a day. But if I teach you to fish, you eat for a lifetime. And I said, motherfucker, I'm 42 years old. I've been fishing all my life. Now a motherfucker's trying to fly. So I ask you, are you going to help me to fly? I'm tired of fishing. A motherfucker want to fly. Okay. And he said, let me talk to them. Let me see what I can do. I said, you do. Otherwise, if they say no, then there's nothing else for us to talk about. Keep your money, whatever. I don't give a fuck, you know? And then I walked out. The very next day, he called me, everything I asked for. And now I do comedy. And I never looked fucking back. Never looked back. And you want to know something funny too? Is right after they fired me, right? Because I had to move out of my other apartment because they were going to demolish it, right? I was the last tenant there. All the other tenants, they got out. I was the last tenant there. Even after I moved out, I used to go back there because I had the key, right? And hang out in the backyard and smoke. And then I would feed my cat, Blackie. I had a stray cat that used to hang out there. So I used to go over and feed the cat. So
is that what you
right
called
after
in the 90s too, or the early 2000s?
She was all black. I called her Blackie. So,
I know, but she
so right after, check this out. So right after I got fired, I went back to
Blackie
to the house to go feed Blackie and smoke a blunt. Now, mind you, I didn't live there no more. I just had the keys, and I still had the key to the apartment downstairs because they were gonna demolish it. So I had a little bit of furniture that I left behind. I had like a putting green, you know what I'm saying? Because we would go there, we'd smoke weed. You know, the landlord never went there, so I still kind of resided there in a way. So I go there and I'm smoking, and they're demolishing the building next door, right? Construction workers are working there. And I'm sitting there smoking, and I hear a guy go, hey, yo, and whistle. And I look up, and he goes, yo, do you got electricity in there? And I go, yeah, I got electricity in there. And he goes, do you mind if we plug in? Because we don't got no generators for the next 3 weeks. So do you mind if we use your electric? And I said, I don't think I do. Like this, I don't think I do. You know what I'm saying? He goes, hold on. I'm gonna send the foreman over to talk to you. Foreman comes over, goes, yo, dude, what's up, man? Or how could we use your thing? You mind if we use it? I said, yeah, I don't mind if you use it, but you're gonna have to pay me something. He goes, what are you looking for? I said, give me $500 a week. 3 weeks, 500, no problem. I made $1,500 there in 3 weeks that I was there.
I would have just bought a generator.
They had generators coming, but they had to wait on them for whatever reason. It was going to take them 3 weeks to get them. For whatever reason, I didn't ask no questions. I didn't sit there and go, why don't you just rent one? Nah, motherfucker, $500 a week. Well, I mean, they gave me $500 a week, dog.
Obviously.
$500 a motherfucking week they gave me. I made $1,500 right off the bat when I went back, man. We're not doing business that when we open, we all bosses, Gary. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Bro says you're a baller.
Yeah, man. I just didn't take the shit, dude. And then you know what happened? I was getting that $1,500. I got me off the books motherfucking morning construction job.
Right.
Dude, I was caking. And at night I was doing comedy, started doing the comedy, never looked back. Never looked back, dude.
Now, you owned some businesses after, right? Did you ever do any other job after that?
The construction. And then I opened up the restaurant with Lou.
Yeah.
And then I helped with the coffee shop with my other boy. But the coffee shop was more, I was just helping him out because I was ready, because I left the restaurant and started doing comedy full time.
So it was just
at that point I started doing comedy.
Cash construction jobs. You haven't really been on a, like, I guess a 10, it would be 1099 or W-2. A W-2 is when you're a full-time employee. You haven't been a W-2 in a while.
Well, I was a W-2 here for a little while.
Right.
And then they moved us back to 1099.
Yeah, but that's not really that's not a real W-2 job. I mean, it was, but
says you.
But yeah, no, it
says you, motherfucker. The W-2 says otherwise.
I would like to take you on a tour of my section.
That's why I'm telling you, man. You should have never let them fucking get away with leaving that fucking review. Never. Fuck that. You're changing that fucking review. Or I'm changing where your nose is, bitch. The fuck out of here. Then you'll have a real reason to fire me. Because I knocked you the fuck out.
Look at how
the fuck out of here with that shit.
Look at how nice these edge lines look, bro. You see this? Not a drop.
Dude, if I was riding my bike down there, I would say that right away. I'd be like, yo, look how nice these edge lines are.
Now, do you see this?
Yeah, I see that grass growing through. I was gonna say I would have been like, but that grass right there isn't really done.
Well, that's
right.
somebody else's section. So this is a perfect example of the dichotomy and where the line's drawn. You see this? Right? Look at that. And now look at this. Do we see a difference? A large difference?
Yeah, it's like fucking Atlantic City. One side got a good side, and then around across the street, it's fucked up.
Now look at this. Exceptional.
You should have showed him that video.
Exceptional. Yeah. Oh, look at that one. Oh man, look at that edge, bro.
You know, you should have shown that video.
This one gets me hard. Look at this one, dude. Yeah, I'm aroused right now. Look at this. Look how deep it goes.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh.
Gross.
Oh yeah.
Gross.
Yeah,
but you know what you should have said to him, dude? You should have showed him this, and you should have said, as you were watching it, this one right here is getting me hard. Oh, yes. Look at that. Look at that. And then you should have said, you know what? I'm looking at the review right here, and you're telling me you're not going to hire me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what are you hiring me for? Because it says I do a great job. What it doesn't say is I'm not good at making friends. So are you hiring me to be friends with everybody? Or are you hiring me to do a good job? Because from this review, it does say I did a good job. It just said I wasn't friendly to everybody else. King Handles says, Brian, why'd you mess up the landscaping job like that? He didn't, King Handles. He didn't, King Handles. That motherfuckers played him, man. Let's go back over there. I'll get my suit. I'll put on my suit.
Okay, I have an audio recording from my boss. Do you want to hear it?
Man, fuck that.
I know, punks, right? Yeah, but I mean,
then they fired you at the end of the day too. Oh my god,
2:00, dude. And I said, bro, thanks for firing me at the end of the day, you fucking piece of shit. And he goes, oh no, it was on her schedule. I'm like, oh, I hope you enjoyed your lunch, you fucking bitch.
Well, you should have said, well, I'm sorry, but this firing doesn't seem to work out with my schedule. See, because my schedule had me working here till Friday, so I'm gonna stay to my schedule, and you give me my fucking check on Friday.
Yeah, well, I told them they're going to pay me till the end of the day. I said, if I'm leaving now, you're paying me till fucking 3:30, dude. You made me start the day. I'm finishing the fucking day, bro.
Fuck out of here.
And they're also going to pay me out for the time that I earned, like the vacation and the sick time I accrued.
The fuck out of here, man. These people.
Gay!
I'm always one step ahead of these fucking people. That's why when John tells that story about me in that meeting, where John tells his friend, can you imagine that you get called into a meeting with all your workers and the bosses go, hey guys, we got great news. You're all getting raises. And everybody's like, dope, yeah, except one guy. And he turns around and goes, wait a minute. Fuck that. Suck my dick. And his boy was like, what? And he goes, yeah, that's exactly what happened. They came in, they told everybody they were getting raises. Mm-hmm. And then Gary turned around while everybody was like, dope. Gary said, wait a minute, what do you mean we're getting raises? Fuck that, suck my dick.
Now, what was the bullshit about it though?
The bullshit was they were giving us raises, right? Mm-hmm. But now we were moving to W-2s and they were going to take our taxes now. So now I was actually bringing home less than what I was making. On paper, I was making more, but I was actually bringing home less.
That's because
every week.
And they were not paying that tax money back.
Why you think I got fucking bills now? Why you think I'm in debt now? Why you think we're in debt? Because of them cocksuckers. But I was right. But I was 100% right. No one saw what I saw, that they were jerking us and moving shit around and trying to fuck with our money, which is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I was making more money before they made that move. And every time, that's what they always did. Whenever we started making cake, they would change the way they pay us.
Yeah.
So I already knew every time they changed the way they paid us, it never worked out for us. You know what I'm saying? It never worked out for us. Fuck that. I don't deal with none of that bullshit, dog. Even back in the day, remember they used to do the tips. At the end, the tips go to the comics. And it went, the comics didn't see the tips. The money went straight to the fucking company. I said, wait a minute, dog. You say it goes to the comics, right? Yeah. So how about you start giving it to the comics? Get the fuck out of here. Demo said, just go to the employer and demand no W-2. They cannot force it. Lawsuit. Nah. Everything's good now, dude. I own the company. So better yet, run it. I don't like to say own. I don't own it. Ray owns it. I run it with Ray. But either way, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never dealt with that shit in any fucking job that they try to fucking pull shit with me. That's why I remember I told one of my friends one time, because they were like, yeah, I get paid every 2 weeks. And I was like, every 2 weeks? I'm like, yeah, I can never work a job that pays every weeks, man. If I said, I got to get paid every week. And she's like, Gary, but that's how they all do it. I said, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. I would never work at a job that pays me every 2 weeks. Because then what if I go work fucking a week and a half and I die? And I didn't see the money from the week before? I didn't get to touch that money. I didn't get to spend that money the week before. You're holding on to 2 weeks of my money? Nah, every week. And they're like, but I said, every job I've ever had, they paid me every week. I had a job that paid me twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, I told you when I worked for the federal government, it was at the end of the month. The last working day of the month. But bro, those first like 12 days of the month, you had bread, dog.
Yeah, and then you're broke for the rest of the month.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's always nice when you get paid on Friday. You're only ever really broke from like Monday or Tuesday until Friday at the longest. You know,
dude, I'm sorry. Every week, I'm not gonna do it, but that's how we do it here. Well, either you're gonna change that for me, or I'm not gonna work here, and that's all right. I won't work there, man. King Handle says sign their emails and phone numbers up for spam. Nah, it's a company. They got spam blockers. They got all those spam blockers.
Yeah, but I got personal cell numbers.
But I'm just saying, man, fuck these companies trying to get over on you, man. Fuck that, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm that dude that if I agreed, I stay out of other people's pockets. If I agree to a certain number, then that's what I make. Whatever you're paying somebody else, that if they got a better deal than me, then that's what they got. But
yeah,
once I agree, that's what I did, and I'm gonna do what you paid me to do to the best of my ability. But I'm not gonna fucking, I'm not gonna let you take advantage of me. Fuck that. It's not gonna happen. Like I said, I'm surprised I worked there so fucking long, because I was like that in every scenario. Anytime they tried to do some dumb shit, I was on it. Yeah. Every time. I used to tell Richard, listen, dog, I understand how this game is played. Fuck who you want to fuck, but you're not going to fuck me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blow you up to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell nobody else you fucking them, but you're not going to fuck me. Me and you are going to do things on the right. You can do whatever you want with everybody else, but with me and you, you're going to do right by me and I'll do right by you. And that's it. I guess you could say I had a lot of integrity. Demo says, so let's hear where Brian is going from here after being fired. Breaking sprinklers.
I've been at places actually where people who have gotten fired have done damage to the course, the golf course. And it's like, dude, you put so much time and energy into keeping it alive. It's like, dude, why would you take the effort and like, how could you care for something and put that much sweat into it and then destroy it? It's so stupid.
It doesn't even matter, man, because at the end of the day, it comes down to this, man. It's their loss. They're gonna fill your spot up with some purple-haired, overweight, emotional fucking person who identifies as a fucking dog and is shitting on their grass. Okay, that's who they're gonna fucking change you with. Somebody else that's some fucking DEI hire fucking asshole, and that's what they're gonna put in your place. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna lose a person who obviously knew their job, because you got exceptional on that, did their job well, got exceptional on that, and they're gonna replace you with someone who's a lot more friendly. Everybody likes him. He goes to the barbecue. He doesn't just suck his dick. He sucks everybody's dick. He has him.
And you know what's funny? The foreman that I got in trouble with, I was invited to go out with them a couple times when I first started, and I said no every time, bro. I said, nah, dude, I'm
Oh
good.
yeah, man.
I got stuff to do.
Yeah,
But let me tell you this.
I'm
So
not
they
gonna
bring
lie,
me in.
that's what cost me too. Because when they did like parties and shit, I never went. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, man. Are you paying me to go to the party? No, then why am I gonna stay later at work?
Dude, they had a party that was at 11:30, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll clock you out at the end of the day." I'm like, "Oh, bet I'm not going to that shit." What I heard is I was done at 11:30. They tell me I could eat some food you brought in. Like, no, I have my own food. I'm good. I'm going home. I'm spending
I
time with
never
my
went
family
to
and my
those
dog.
things. Whereas, you know, I'm sure if I went, I'd probably still be there now. But who would still want to be there now?
This is the summation of my final week, right? The guy asked me to take this fence down, which I asked him to take down months ago. Now he decides he can take it down, knowing that he's going to fire me. So I start taking it down on my last day. He tells me that we're going to have the review at 2. So I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything else anymore, right? So I stopped working for the remaining couple hours.
Yeah, no doubt.
Give me a ride down there, and I was like, nah, it's cool, bro. I'll drive myself down. I'll meet you down there, right? And
yeah, avoid that awkward drive back.
Well, no, I did take the ride back because I had all my tools, and I just berated him the whole time back, bro. I had my feet up, my hat on backwards, my shirt was like half off, you know.
I wish I had a dick out.
If I had a cigarette, I would have smoked a cigarette.
You should have pulled your dick out, just started fucking playing with it right there while you were driving back. Look, I'm just gonna do this while we drive, okay?
So then
should have busted on his leg like you were in idolatry.
So then I get in, right? And he tells me to go into this office, and I go in and I see some lady that I've never met before. And she goes, "Hey, Brian." And I'm like, "Oh, hello. I've never met you before. Hi, I'm Brian Licata. What's your name?" She tells me her name. I said, "Oh,
lean back."
I was like, "Okay, who are you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm the HR person, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is great." I was like, "All right, let's get this show on the road." And then I just kind of sat down and I let him go through all the things. I'm like, "All right." So then he went through the report, said they're not going to renew me. I stood up, took my radio off, took off all my keys, gave it to him, right? And then one by one, and then they asked for the cell phone, the company cell phone. So I pulled the cell phone out, and then I turned it on because I turned it off because I didn't want them to call me. You know, because I had a cell phone, a radio, and some of these guys have my personal number. Why do you need 3 ways to get a hold of me? Like, that's what the walkie-talkie's for. Just call me on the walkie if you need me, you know? So then everyone can hear what you're saying, you know? So I format it. I format it, right? I format the phone. And then I hand it back to her, and she's like, what's the password? And I was like, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Peace. And then I left and took the ride back with him uptown. And then I go in the office or back into the break room. And I was like, they're firing me. They're firing me. I started like singing like a song. I grabbed all my shit. I put it in a trash bag. And I was like, they're firing me because I'm mean and I'm difficult to work with.
You should have filmed that,
and
dog.
Nobody learned anything from me. It's so sad. I should have filmed it. That would have been so great, dude, doing a selfie video of me walking out.
Yeah, you should have filmed it, man. Bro 12002 says, Brian, you learned another lesson on a journey call of life. Put that place in your rearview mirror and press on.
You know what I learned? This is a lesson I learned, that you need to stick to your integrity and stick to the values that you have and do an excellent job and do not accept anything less than somebody's best effort, right? Because if you don't do those things, you're mediocre. And a fuck you shout out to Central Park Conservancy and Mike DeLillo for being mediocre as fuck. Like, just do it, just mediocre. And that's words out of his mouth. I'm not calling him mediocre. He called himself mediocre to me in his truck, driving around Central Park, which is what he does all day, and just waste time. It says, well, as long as they're happy. So you know he's not happy, bro? You, dog. You know why you're not happy? Because you got a bunch of punks working for you, and you have no pride in yourself.
Because you got to go to those weekend barbecues and suck dick.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say he does that or doesn't do that. I'm not gonna.
I said it.
I'm not gonna slander him. But you can slander him. I might have.
I don't even know him, and I'll slander him. Fuck him.
Gay.
I heard he wears high heels when he's home. Bro 12002 says, sounds like management was a real piece of shit and the place was a shithole. Well, it's Central Park. It's some people's shithole.
But see, the issue I have is this should be, and it is the world's park. It's the greatest urban park in the world. And it's also the most expensive piece of real estate probably in the world. Right? I mean, to develop it, dude, how much would it cost to buy all that land?
I have no idea.
Probably trillions of dollars, dog. And the fact that these DEI, Magic the Gathering, satanic, zero work ethic, garbage individuals work at this place.
Get it out, baby. Get it.
And want to rest their hat on that they're doing something good for the environment. And the truth is they're not. They're not doing anything good for the city. They're not doing anything for the environment, because the real truth of the matter is this, Gary, right? There's an issue with crime in Central Park this year.
Oh,
right?
you think?
It's higher than it's ever been. And you know why?
That must be real high.
That's because the grounds are treated like shit. That's because they have people in management running it that don't care,
that let the grass
that have stolen from the company, certain ones, multiple times, and they're uneducated, right, in the field. They have on the job training at that job only. They're you know, just
they let the grass grow so high they could assault people in it.
Exactly, bro. And you know what, dude? You can't do yoga. Right? You can't let your dog walk around in weeds, bro. It's gonna get ticks. That's how West Nile virus contracts, and the city's actually spraying pesticides. So by mowing and keeping stuff manicured, if you want to use electric mowers, sure, dude, use electric mowers. Use all electric and all green and eco-friendly equipment, right? But you need to keep everything trimmed down to decrease the bug population, right? Because that's going to increase disease. And not to mention, dude, rape in the fucking woods, bro. Or rape on the tops of the rocks. The people sleeping inside these bushes. Like, everything should be trimmed down. And broken window theory, dog, right? Like, if a house has a broken window, it's more likely to get broken into, right?
Yeah.
Now,
and if the grounds look like shit, it's more likely that shit is going to hang out there. Because they're like, nobody takes care of this. No one comes through here. This place is pretty empty. Yeah.
And bro, do you know who rarely ever had to pick up garbage in a section of the park after being there for about a month? Me, dude. Who had the most dialed in section of the park, dog?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, now all that shit's going to grow out of whack. And, you know, fuck them. Central Park is cursed from its history. Church Street Deli says Central Park is cursed from its history of displacing a poor community.
Yeah, so there's a place called Seneca Village, right? And let's do Seneca Village map. So this was on the Upper West Side, actually not far from where I live. And it took up a big section. So let's see if I can... okay, here we go. Pull up a little history about it. Community of free Black property owners, Seneca Village was unique in its day. It was located in the hilly, rock-strewn woods between 82nd, 89th, and 7th and 8th Avenue. At the time, it was a long walk to the crowded city, right? So at this time, I mean, there wasn't much really going on, probably above like 40th Street or some shit like that, right? By 1832, 24 more lots were sold to African Americans. In the 1850s, the village had 3 churches, a school, 300 people. Over the years, German and Irish immigrants joined the community, and they had like a church and like a big, you know, community. Oh, this actually looks like oh, word. Oh, this is a map. This is a map of New York Island over the course of time. So, can we get one for 1825? Yeah, so this city street map doesn't even go that high in 1825. You know, the park's not even there. This is like 40th Street.
Yeah. So what? They got rid of all those people to build the park.
They bulldozed it, dog. And then, dude, they have a celebration. They have plaques celebrating the history of Seneca Village on the place they bulldozed. It's like, dude, it's the same thing with the Native American reservations. It's like, yo, you're having a Black and indigenous people like culture. Like, how about you give them back that section of the park and put low-income housing on it? That's justice, right? But
well, I mean,
you're gonna do that, are you?
You're gonna give it back to?
Dude, the people own property, dog. You could easily trace that back. You could find out who owned every parcel of land in that area. and you can find their most common ancestor, right? And give them back the land, dog. Don't even build low-income housing. Just give the land back to the family who owned it.
That'd be nice if I found out that I was related to somebody who owned it and they did that. Otherwise, fuck it. What do I care?
Well, you had the whole island of Puerto Rico at one point.
Not me. I ain't never been to Puerto Rico, man.
Sorry, I meant the island of Queens and Brooklyn. Long Island, I guess. Right?
Well, listen, Brian.
We have a couple comments we got to get to first.
All right, go ahead. D-Moore says, I'm sensing a full-on protest, grassroots protest. Let's go. Pull a Soros and let's get Brian in charge. D-Moore says, go over their heads for sure. Bring the pride back to the park. Bro 12002 says, it's a tool that management uses to be able to fire people once you take that class. DEI, you can't say that you didn't know and not you're held accountable.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that, but I've never had any negative. Dude, I respect everybody, unless you disrespect me by taking advantage of me. That's it.
What about the time you went into HR and you said, "What's up with all these Orientals you got cutting grass over here in Central Park?"
I made sure they fired all them.
King Ellis says, "There's no crime in Central Park, just disadvantaged people." D-Moore 76 says, time to start going to the media and newspapers. Let's make some noise.
Should I send this to New York Post?
They don't give a fuck.
They might.
Nah, dude, you're just a straight white male in America, man. It's your turn to feel the force. It's your turn to feel the fury, man. But listen, to all my straight.
That's what he was, dude. He was a straight white. He was an Italian, a straight white Italian.
Man, he's been to too many of those barbecues. Listen, to all my straight white men out there now suffering underneath the thumb of oppression, I just want to tell you, from a Puerto Rican man and on behalf of all my black brothers as well, you too shall overcome. Stay strong. All right, Brian, stay strong. Because here's one thing Bro says 12002. People can say what they want to say, but Rudy Giuliani and Bill Bratton prove the broken windows works. Yeah, man. I mean, Giuliani did his thing, but I like the old 42nd Street. Cliffy says, who owns the boathouse? Trump? They don't understand proper land management. U.S. Mayans learned the hard way. Us Mayans learned the hard way. Why you got to bring Trump into this, dude? Why you a Trump hater? Why you hating on Trump? What did Trump do for you? Kept more money in your pocket? Kept your gas down for your Mercedes?
I don't think he was, dude. I don't think he was coming at Trump there. He was asking the question, who owned it? I don't think.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
I read that with an attitude. I'm sorry, Cliff. You're still my boy. We got love, dog. Anyway, King Handel says, can't have all those coloreds owning all that prime real estate. As the wind and willows played songs that hit the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. King Handel says, Brian, did you tell them you're trans?
Yeah.
You should have. You should have said you identify as a weep. They're kicking you out of your home.
No, dude. And the funny thing is, dude, there's a I would say a substantial amount of people who would more than likely identify themselves as LGBTQ+, and I'm not going to assume that they do, but every single one of them was super friendly, loved working with everyone, except for the one who tried to take advantage of me.
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because who you fuck doesn't define your character.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't define your character. I don't care who you fuck. Are you a cool person? D-Moore says, new YouTube channel, Central Park Audit. Go point out all the bad shit, Brian. Central Park is the most well-known park in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
King Handel says, Brian, sounds like you resisted his advances. Yeah. Brian didn't want to be...
We need some
famous.
We need some editing help. Does anybody from the Rated G community want to help editing some video projects? We can start pumping out some content. We'll all work together. We'll all work together.
Well, listen, Brian, I want you to find solace in the fact Church Street says, "Oh, great, Brian, you were the overachiever. Get the fuck out of here." Cliffy says, "Who you fuck does not dictate your character." Well said, Gary. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
listen, I want you to find solace in the fact, Brian, that you still have a job here at Rated G. You, my brother, will not lose this job. I will not let you go, nor terminate you. All right, man? As long as you're down to keep recording, we keep recording. Unfortunately, though, we don't pay much. You know, I'll help you with your computer stuff, Gary. I don't have problems with my computer. He's the one who does. He's the one who has to put in more inspiration, bigger and better things coming your way. No doubt, man. Keep it coming. And if you want to fucking support, you know what to do. Go to BrianTLicata.com/shop. Get yourself some drip, man. Go buy some Rated G drip. Represent. Let the world knows that you like to listen to two people babble bullshit twice a week. All right. And if you want to check me out, man, go to acjokes.com and check out the fucking shows coming up. And come check me out, man. I would love to see y'all. Let me know you're there too, man. I hang out after the shows. Let me know you're there. We'll take some pictures. We'll hang out, man. And if you listen to the podcast, I'll toss you a free shirt if I got one. Michelle Balducci says, teach me to edit videos. I need extra work since I have another mouth to feed and no help. We can get into that next time, Michelle, as far as the no help thing. That just hit me just now. No help, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
We'll talk to you, Michelle.
Yeah, we'll talk, Michelle. Yeah, follow Brian at Brian the Video Guy. Follow me at Gary G. Garcia, man. And if you're in New York on a Monday night, check out the Not Quite Tuesday midnight show at the Grizzly Pear. Till next time, baby. We love you guys. Peace.